Walt Disney's Moana is an inspiring musical adventure, which is no surprise since it was created by the same writing-directing team that was behind The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Hercules. The film runs deep with awesome references and Easter eggs just begging to be discovered. So let's dive in. In the movie, young Moana is torn between her obligations as a chief's daughter and her undying desire to explore the world beyond the reef of her home, Motunui. Did you know that her family ties were just as important behind the scenes as on screen? Listen to the voice of the villager who presents the rotting coconuts to Moana. The voice might not be familiar to you, but you can bet it's very familiar to the voice of Moana, Auli'i Carvalho. This villager is played by Pu'anani Carvalho, her very own mother. It was also very important to co-directors Don Hall, Ron Clements, and John Musker that the cast list be filled with Polynesian performers to pay respect to the story and culture. And here's another behind-the-scenes detail regarding both. After Moana finds the boats hidden in the island cave, she asks her grandmother why her people stopped exploring. Her grandmother explains that it was because of the demigod Maui, who stole the heart of Te Fiti, which created dangers that stopped the boats from going out for 1,000 years. This depiction isn't far off from the actual historical event in Polynesian history known as the Long Pause, when early wayfinders ended their voyages after reaching islands like Tonga and Samoa. But unlike the mystical reasons given in the movie, the real reason for the pause is still unknown. But that doesn't mean we can't uncover some more secrets from the world of Moana. The body of water in Moana takes on a life of its own, aiding our young voyager in her quest. It's as if the water is a supporting character in the film. Since the beginning of computer animation, recreating believable water elements has always been a daunting task. Just ask the animators at Industrial Light and Magic, who created the water tentacle in James Cameron's The Abyss, an undeniable inspiration for the many water effects in Moana. But look closely at the detail in the more natural effect of the small geyser eruptions during the musical number How Far I'll Go. As they move in series, the water mist creates a realistic rainbowing effect just behind Moana. Beautiful things can happen when art and science collide. And speaking of collisions, here's something you probably didn't know about a star who's no stranger to them. Dwayne Johnson, famously known as The Rock from his pro wrestling days, plays Maui, the demigod who stole the heart of Te Fiti. Moana's mission begins with finding him in order to return the heart to Te Fiti and restore the order to the world. The character design for Maui, not surprisingly, is modeled on the action star. But remember, the Moana production was a family affair, and inspiration was also drawn from another famous wrestler, Peter Maivia, who just so happened to be The Rock's real-life grandfather. Of course, Maui isn't the only sidekick along for Moana's ride. Unbeknownst to Moana, she sets sail with a stowaway, a comically dense little rooster named Heihei. Heihei is one of Moana's two pets, the other being Pua, her pet pig. There is something special about why these two specific animals were made her pets. It's because roosters and pigs are considered good luck for sailors. Many sailors get tattoos of the animals because they have high survival rates in the event of shipwrecks. But they don't survive because of magic. Their ability to make it through shipwrecks is due to the buoyancy of the wooden cages they're usually kept in. Speaking of kept in, these two animals almost weren't. During production, there was a concern that between the animals and Maui, there was just too many sidekicks, and animals should be cut from the film. But when the animation supervisor Adam Green suggested Heihei could be comically stupid, this kept that little bird afloat while the pig stayed home. And there's more details you might have missed about Heihei. Heihei may not have many lines, but he is voiced by a character actor extraordinaire, Alan Tudyk. Tudyk also voiced the part of Villager Number 3, which is funny since Villager Number 3 is the one who suggests eating Heihei. This happens during a scene when Heihei's trying to eat a stone, which leads to another great bit of foreshadowing. Remember how Villager Number 3 says, "I'm curious about that chicken eating the rock." Turns out that stone isn't the only rock Heihei tries to eat. Later in the movie, as Maui sharpens his transformation skills on a boat, he successfully turns himself into a colorful beetle that Heihei gobbles up in one peck. Get it? Heihei really did try to eat the rock. Luckily for Maui, he's able to return to his normal form. Dwayne Chicken Feed Johnson just doesn't have the same ring to it after all. You're gonna have to be as fast as a chicken gobbling up a bug to catch this next Easter egg though. When Heihei is kidnapped by the Kakamura, look sharp when Moana reaches the deck of their ship. When the Legion of Kakamura turn around to face her, the shot is of a sea of mask-decorated faces, but one mask is not quite like the others. It's completely white with two small circles, connected by a thin horizontal line. This Kakamura is wearing a Baymax mask from Big Hero 6, and there's another character reference right ahead. In the scene where baby Moana safely helps a baby turtle back to the ocean, the water moves for Moana as she collects conch shells. In the wall of the ocean, you can see the little turtle reunited with an adult sea turtle. Remind you of anyone? The turtles bear more than a striking resemblance to two of the most righteous characters from Finding Nemo, Young Squirt and Crush, dude. If you think that one was hard to spot, then don't blink, or you'll definitely miss this next one. Walt Disney Animation is legendary for incorporating spectacular, feel-good musical sequences in their movies. Moana is no exception and pays tribute to ones that came before it. Did you catch this super quick Easter egg hidden in the musical number You're Welcome? Toward the end of the song, when Maui sings, "'Cause I'm gonna need that boat," look to the right of the screen at the fish swimming upward. That yellow fish with dark blue stripes can be found in another Disney musical classic. It's Ariel's lovable fish friend Flounder from The Little Mermaid. And he's not the only hidden animal pal from another Disney hit movie. Moana and Maui brave the realm of monsters in order to retrieve Maui's hook from the shiny crab monster Tamatoa. When Maui first gets his hook and tries to shapeshift into a giant bird, he transforms into various other animals. Pause the movie just right, and you can see he turned into someone from Frozen. That's right, the animal is in the completely wrong part of the world, but there's no doubt that this is Sven, Kristoff's faithful reindeer friend. But wait, hold on. Back it up a little and see if there's not another little Easter egg lurking nearby. Of course there is. Pause the shot where Maui first reaches for his hook and really study that pile of treasures. Or maybe we should call them wonders, just to give you a hint. Because what you're looking for is far from its original home, the Cave of Wonders or Agrabah. Figure it out yet? We're talking about the famous genie's itty-bitty living space, the lamp from Aladdin. It's hiding midway up the pile on the left. Keep your eye on Maui though, we're jumping back to him next. Maui sure is a mischievous demigod with a load of charisma, but one of his more interesting attributes is his display of tribal tattoos. The ink just springs to life on his skin. No, literally, his tattoos move and communicate with him, acting as his conscience, like a skin-deep Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio. But there's something else very special about them. The tattoos in this computer-animated feature are actually hand-drawn, a technique not used by the studio for at least 5 years, since the 2011 release of Winnie the Pooh, and we're still not done with Maui. Once Maui gets the hang of transforming again, take a close look at his right wing when he becomes a hawk. The feather coloring takes the shape of his hook to represent him still holding it. This next one is really going to surprise you, since it has to do with a connection between the family-friendly film and one that is decidedly not family-friendly. When it comes to releasing movies in other countries, elements of a movie can be changed to help a film perform better at the box office overseas, including the title. Take the release of Moana in Italy, for example. When the Italian audiences went to theaters to see the Disney flick, their tickets were for a movie entitled Oceania. Moana had to undergo a full title change in Italy in order to avoid confusion with Moana Pazzi, an Italian adult film actress on which a 2009 TV miniseries was based, which was of course entitled Moana. Many Italian parents of young children probably are very grateful. The name change wasn't limited to Italy either. In Asia and most of Europe, the title was switched to Vaiana. This might be because Moana was already a registered trademark in some countries like Spain, so it was easier to just change the name. Since Vai means water, the meaning is basically the same as Moana, which means ocean. And speaking of names, did you know that many of the characters' names are actually Pacific Island language words? Moana again means ocean, but also blue in both Hawaiian and Maori. Hei literally means chicken in Maori. Pua is short for pua'a, meaning pig, but can also mean offspring or flower. Maui is an actual Polynesian demigod, which the Hawaiian island is named after. Moana's dad, Tui, is named for a bird native to New Zealand. Another interesting one, the giant crab Tamatoa, means brave in Maori. Moana's grandmother's name is Tala. Tala is the name of the goddess of the stars in Tagalog mythology, but also means story in Samoan. This is especially fitting since she's always telling stories and legends, like in the beginning of the movie, which is where the next super quick Easter egg can be spotted. When Moana's dad Tui, scolds Tala for scarring the village children with her stories, keep a sharp eye on the tapestries that drop around the hut. Does the first monster look familiar to you? What if you colored it Snow White? Yes, pun intended. But no, this isn't about the princess who goes to live with the 7 dwarfs. The tapestry depicts a snow monster from another Disney film. It's Marshmallow, conjured by Elsa to keep the riffraff out of her ice castle in Frozen. For the next Easter egg though, we're gonna go from tapestries to rugs. During Moana's song How Far I'll Go, when she sings the line "Everybody on this island seems so happy on this island," and catches a coconut, pay attention to the villagers behind her. They're carrying a rug that truly deserves a double take, because the pattern design bears a striking resemblance to the flying carpet in Aladdin, another of Ron Clements and John Musker's creations. While you're on the topic of Clements and Musker and rugs, at the beginning of the song Where You Are, look at the rug being hung on the line. The design includes caricatures of Clements and Musker, along with the double spiral found in the heart of Te Fiti. Want to know what that spiral means? The spiral on Moana's necklace and on her boat's sail is called a koru, which symbolizes new life, new beginnings, personal growth, or the spirit of rejuvenation and peace. Visually, it's meant to represent a fern frond unfurling. As a double spiral, it also symbolizes kinship and belonging. All are traits Moana is in search of for herself throughout the film. Speaking of kinship and belonging, you're gonna love this next behind-the-scenes detail. Did you know the final credits have a production babies section? The first name is Sebastian, Lin-Manuel Miranda's son, who was born during the making of the movie. But the multi-talented Miranda has another special connection to the filmmakers. Remember how John Musker and Ron Clements also directed The Little Mermaid? That film inspired a young Lin-Manuel to become a songwriter for movies. He even named his son Sebastian after the memorable crab who sang the iconic song Under the Sea. I hope you liked the video and found some things you missed in Disney's Moana. Make sure you subscribe to Movie Logic for more daily movie facts, trivia, and Easter eggs.